3, 2, 1. Begin.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights, dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Fly guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. Fly like an eagle soars in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soars in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.
What's going on, Tone? What's going on?
What's going on, good brother? How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. I see you got the fatigues on, ready for war.
A 10 hut, you feel me?
We got a real test today, brother.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, man. Scared money don't make no money.
Yeah,
scared money don't make no money. If I ever go broke, I'm gonna take your money. You feel what I'm saying? So
you gotta catch me first.
We appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are tuning into the Bald Eagles podcast. He's Marcus Thomas. I'm Tone DeShields II. The vibes are always high. The vibes are always immaculate. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Smash the like button. Also, hit that hype button. Don't forget about that as well. And also, most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to both the channels. I repeat, subscribe to Pro Fan Talk and subscribe to Chalk It Up Sports. We are live on both platforms. So make sure you guys show an abundance, an overabundance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To the good brother Marcus Thomas, and make sure you guys spread the wealth over here as well at Chalk It Up Sports. You feel what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. It's game day. Eagles, Lions, Sunday night football. There's no bigger stage, some would argue. You know what I mean? At least in the regular season, that is. So also it's week 11. And
yes.
There are a handful of matchups that are going on that we're all going to be paying attention to. For example, Green Bay at New York. That's going to be very interesting. No Jackson Dart. We'll see if Jameis Winston can sing his way to a victory. Also, there's Cowboys at Raiders. I think the Cowboys are going to take care of the Raiders. I don't think that's going to be a problem for them. But that's for later on. It's a later on conversation. And Washington right now is playing Miami. As of right now, that score is tied at 6-6 in the third quarter. It's pretty much been it's been an ugly game, to say the least.
What channel is that on? Is that ESPN?
Oh, actually, I lied. Commanders just scored, so it's 12-6. 12-6. That's on NFL Network because that's an international game.
Gotcha.
But anyway, there's a handful of matchups that we're all going to be watching, divisional included, the conference, right? I think who else plays? Tampa plays Buffalo. It's a big game that we're all going to be watching. We're all going to be rooting for Buffalo in that situation. Seattle and Los Angeles, like I've been telling you guys, the NFC West is going to cannibalize each other. All the Eagles have to do is continue to win football games because that division is going to bring their records down respectively. I wouldn't be surprised if all those teams just start splitting all throughout the season. Seahawks win one, Lions win one. Well, right. Seahawks win one, Rams win one, and so on and so forth. Same thing with the NFC North, right? So yeah, there's a lot of football that matters to the Eagles today, but no game matters more than their own. Eagles, Lions, Sunday night football, Jalen Hurts versus Jared Goff, or Jalen Hurts versus that Lions defense, Jared Goff versus that new look Eagles defense. Let's just play around on the surface here, right? Overall, what are some of your instant thoughts, instant feelings about this matchup tonight? And then we'll start to get into the nitty-gritty of the layers.
I will be surprised if the defense doesn't show up. My concern is will the Eagles offense be able to match the Lions offense? I think going back to last week, A.J. Brown's comments and some of the other players' comments, they are spot on. When A.J. said, last year was last year, thank you for the ring, but teams have adapted. He's 100% correct. He is looking at the situation of what happened last week with the Packers. Packers defense was pretty good, and it had us flustered for most of the game. We missed out on a couple of opportunities. We should have had another touchdown and another field goal. We should have had at least another 10 points, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. We didn't. So my thing is this going to come to fruition this week with this team? Because this is a good team and this is a good coach. This might be one of those situations where, as good as our defense has played, the offense is going to have to do some things to help them out, because they've been helping us out all year. And like I keep saying, now it's the offense's time to pay their half of the rent. And Jahmyr Gibbs, Nakobe Dean is going to be tested today. He's going to be tested today because that kid is ridiculous. Him and Jonathan Taylor right now are on another level, head and shoulders above anybody else. There's a lot of people in third and fourth place, a distance behind, but those are the two best running backs right now. And Jahmyr Gibbs, his explosive speed is crazy. So we got to be able to put a cap on that, and they're going to be looking to exploit that. We got to be able to match. I don't want to have to put it on the defense to have to stop them all game. That's not fair, and it's unrealistic. So the defense has got to be able to, the offense has got to be able to at least get some type of buffer to help the defense out this week. And I know we at home, and all things are kind of leaning to our favor, but this is one of these teams, man. This is going to be a litmus test for us today. Uh-oh, I lost you.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I also operate under the mindset that regardless, they're the ones that have to prove themselves to us.
Correct.
They have to prove that they're on the Eagles level, better, so on and so forth, right? And
Agreed.
one matchup doesn't solve every issue, right? One matchup doesn't answer every question, but it can give you a lot of answers. It doesn't answer every question, but it can answer some. So when you think about the whole narrative between Detroit and Philadelphia, Detroit is coming into this game with a chip on their shoulder. And they're coming into this game believing that they are the better team and have been the better team this entire time. And maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. But the reality is we was never able to find out because they didn't live up to their end of the bargain.
Facts.
Simple as that. And Detroit has this chip as if the Eagles took something from them. They like before the season started, that's how Amon-Ra St. Brown was talking, and yeah, they had that energy. They had that energy. That fan base had that energy, like we took something from them. And reality is no, you deprived yourself. You didn't take care of business against Washington while you were at home, when you had all the chips leaning in your favor. And when you look at Washington now, you say to yourself, what happened to you? Like, Washington is not even relevant at this point. And you allowed your season to end because of that team. So don't look at us. And look, you beat them, you smoked them. And I think the league is very clever, by the way. They're very clever in setting up the Detroit Lions schedule the way they did. They had the Commanders matchup first, and then a week later they had the Eagles matchup, as if this was supposed to represent some pseudo playoff run that they would have had. Think about it. They played Washington in the divisional round. They lost. But if they would have won, they would have played the Eagles the following week, right? This time, they played Washington. They beat them.
They beat them soundly.
And this week, they got the Eagles.
Yeah.
So they laid it out in a way that kind of mirrored what could have happened or what should have happened in that playoff run, which is very interesting about the NFL. I like the way they think. They think like psychopaths. So again, I look at Detroit as a team that's talented from top to bottom, offensively, defensively. Their head coach is a risk taker, just like Nick Sirianni.
Right.
I don't know who's the bigger risk taker, maybe Dan Campbell.
Oh, Dan Campbell for sure. Dan Campbell
Ye-
for sure. At
Yeah.
least Nick Sirianni, with the exception of what happened last week on that 4th down. And I ain't gonna beat him up for that because he's done it before and nobody had a problem when the ball was caught. So
Yeah, when the ball was caught.
Yeah,
And,
so-
and that's why I didn't really kill him that bad for it.
yeah,
Because
I thought he should have took the points, but again, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I don't know if they were they. Oh yeah, they were in field goal range.
They were because that would have been like a 30-yard touchdown or something like that. So that was well within Elliott's range.
Yeah,
But and honestly, a little bit better throw, a little bit more to the outside by Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. It was a little. It was
You
a little
know,
too
and
much
he had
inside.
time to make it. So just
Yeah.
one of those things.
Yeah, for sure.
So
For sure.
I would put that definitely on Dan Campbell as the biggest risk taker.
Right.
And by the way, 24 Birds, thank you for the super chat, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
shout out 24
Big time.
Birds, man. Respect to you
2
too as
times.
well. Yeah, this is again the Lions are a team that has something to prove coming in Philadelphia. Sunday Night Football, big stage, big moment. Right? They're
Yeah.
talented, but they aren't going to be without their warts tonight. And that brings
Absolutely.
me and that brings me to the injury report for the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Gotta stay healthy.
I'll give you guys the Detroit Lions injury report first. As of right now, and they're missing some key players here. As of right now, no Terrion Arnold, their starting corner with a concussion. He's out. No Marcus Davenport on the edge. Big loss with the shoulder. No Miles Frazier on the offensive line with the knee. No Kirby Joseph, their star safety. That's a big loss right there. No Kirby Joseph with the knee. Sam Laporta with a back injury was just added to IR yesterday.
Oh, so he went on IR. I did not see that.
Yeah, he officially went on IR. At first, he was out. Then they put him on IR.
I thought he was out. Yeah. Ooh, that hurts.
That's a big loss for them.
That hurts.
No Joshua Pascal with a back injury. He's the edge rusher for them. No DJ Reed. That's a big loss.
Yeah.
DJ Reed is a starter level corner for them, if I'm not mistaken. DJ Reed is a good player for them. Make sure I got that right here. What else we got? And Malcolm Rodriguez with the knee. Malcolm Rodriguez with a knee. He's out as well. Questionable is offensive tackle Taylor Decker with the shoulder, but it's also rest, so I think he'll play. Amik Robertson, the corner with the hamstring, is questionable. Jacob Saylor is the running back. He's questionable. Penny Sewell with the ankle is questionable, but I think he's going to play. Sion Vaki with running back ankle, tight end Brock Wright ankle, questionable. So they have their fair share of injuries. They have their fair share, man. Getting to the Eagles side, as of right now, the only person that's considered out is Willie Lampkin, their interior offensive lineman with the knee and ankle. He's just getting back off of IR.
Yeah.
So
that's
this Eagles team,
yeah.
So this Eagles team, for the most part, is coming in locked and loaded, fully healthy.
Right.
As healthy as they can be. As healthy as they can be. So again, man, this is interesting.
Washington trying to initiate a goal line stance is 4th down at the 3. And they did. Incomplete pass to Jalen Waddle. Washington defense holds up.
Washington, that's just that's I don't know, man. Washington they're just old. First of all, they came into the season with one of the oldest rosters, and they're surprised why they got all these injuries. Nonetheless, though, Detroit missing a lot of key guys at key positions. The Eagles, you're getting guys back. You have an opportunity in front of you. You have a chance to beat them without 2 starting level corners and DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold. They're also missing Kirby Joseph at safety. Their secondary is decimated.
Yeah.
And they're missing Davenport on the edge. That's a big loss. Davenport is a very good player. Very good player.
If you look at our bye week and you know, just to compare, we're getting guys back as well, but we're getting guys all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting guys back to 100%, not just I'm well enough to play, but I'm still maybe 80, 85%. And I think that makes a difference.
Right. I agree with you. So now that we got the injury report out of the way, let's get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty when it comes to these teams, right? So let's start with the Eagles offense versus the Lions defense. The Lions defense are a team. The Lions are a team that's played man-to-man, I think, at the 4th highest rate this season. So they play a lot of man. Jalen Hurts and this offense thrives against man-to-man concepts, against man concepts. So when I think about, and that's not to say they're not going to throw some zone. I'm sure they watch the gameplay, they watch tape, and in their mindset is we're probably better off playing more zone than we normally would play against this Eagles team. But we'll see at the end of the day, ultimately teams have an identity. Teams have tendencies that they want to lean into no matter who they play.
Right.
And I think we're still going to see a more man than zone. And I think those are going to be opportunities where Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and all those guys, Dallas Goedert, Saquon, they got to take advantage. And I think this is going to be a game where we see Jalen Hurts take off a little more, especially if we see those DBs turn their backs.
I agree. But that, to me, that'll be interesting because if that happens, if they do go man, then I'm kind of looking at Dan Campbell like, dude, you had the recipe of what frustrates us, and you elected to go a different route, and you're getting burned for it. Didn't you learn from the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? So that will be very interesting, and I guess in my opinion, that will cast a little bit different light on Dan Campbell because I like Dan Campbell as a coach, but that risk reward thing has not been in his favor the past 2 seasons.
It's lost them some big games and in some big moments, in particular in the playoffs, right? Losing to San Fran, losing to the Commanders. But it's a part of their DNA. It's a part of their DNA. But I look at this Eagles team and I say to myself, you have everything that you possibly can need or want for in the offense, personnel wise.
Absolutely.
You don't want for anything.
No, we got him at all positions.
You're getting healthier. I think Cam Jurgens is going to play today. So I expect to see a significantly better game from the offensive line. Again, I think this game is won and lost with this Eagles offensive line. If this Eagles offensive line is dominating in the trenches, then everything else will fall into place. But also, let's just call it what it is, man. Let's not pull any punches. You got to get A.J. Brown the ball. You got to find a way to get A.J. Brown the ball. Like, it's unacceptable.
Why is that so difficult?
And that's the part that always blows my mind because I'm like, he's right there.
Watching film, and this is where I'm trying to, because there's only so much blame you can put on Patullo, and there's only so much blame you can put on Jalen Hurts. Because, I don't know, what does this progression tree look like? Is it left to right? Is it right to left? Is it middle out? Depending on the personnel, depending on the package, depending on the defense. What is he trying to do? Because I know there's been plenty of times where he's completed passes, but he's automatically looking to the right or to the left, and the open man comes across on the opposite side, which to me says it was schemed that way. It was drawn up that way. So it's not that he's seeing it. He's looking in a different direction. He's following his progression that they work on in practice. And he's going with what he sees. He might not have enough time to get to his 3rd or 4th progression when that guy's running all the way open.
AJ shouldn't even be a 3rd or 4th progression. He should be 1 or 2.
3 at the most. So when I see him sometimes and he's locked in one spot and he delivers the ball and it's complete, okay, they had that schemed right against that defense, against that package. Everything's good. And then when it doesn't work, people are like, oh, he's running the same plays and this, that, and the other. And it's like, it's not that simple. They go with what worked. They studies with what works. My problem is looking at Kevin Patullo and saying, before you got here, we managed to get the ball to A.J. Brown, and everybody knew we were doing it.
No, he was here. He was here.
Thank you. Yes, you are correct.
He
I stand
was
correct.
here.
He was here. He watched it happen.
He watched
it
this.
happen. He watched those 5 games with 125 plus yards.
That's why I struggle to put it on Jalen Hurts' plate, because
you know what? I didn't think
at,
about it that way. You are correct.
I struggle to
think about it from that vein.
I struggle to put it on Jalen Hurts' plate. You want to know why? Because Kevin Patullo was here and watched 3 offensive coordinators prior to him know how to get A.J. Brown the ball. And Jalen Hurts had no problem finding A.J. Brown to the point where people were saying, wow, this Eagles offense is A.J. Brown or bust. This Eagles Jalen Hurts, he only feeds A.J. Brown. Like, he's an A.J. Brown merchant.
Yeah,
you know what
and
I mean?
They couldn't stop it. They could not stop it.
In 2023, they was literally crucifying Jalen Hurts for going to his number 1 guy consistently. Remember that stretch where A.J. Brown had
Rocky, I'm gonna get to your question a little bit later. I didn't forget that. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later.
We got you, Rocky. You can put a star next to it too, so it goes in the start. But 2023 season, when A.J. Brown went off those 6-7 consecutive games on 125 plus yards, like when he was probably at his best, Jalen Hurts was feeding that man.
Yes.
And they were winning, but by the skin of their teeth, right? So I have enough data to prove that Jalen Hurts knows how to get A.J. Brown the football. I have 3 seasons worth of data. I have a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship that I can watch on YouTube, not on VHS, on YouTube, showing that Jalen Hurts knows how to get A.J. Brown the ball. Does the numbers show it? The film shows it. Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, and Kellen Moore, they showed it. So all of a sudden, Kevin Patullo gets here, and now Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to find A.J. Brown in the offense. I'm not buying that. Especially when Kevin Patullo been here since 2021, saw this thing develop, been through every iteration. He's experienced every iteration of this Eagles offense. And
what was AJ? Do you remember what AJ's stats? Remember, he had the 5 games. He set the record for the most 125-yard games or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Was that last year or the year before? Or 20?
That was 2023. That was the year they collapsed.
Right. The week after that 6th game, what do you remember? What his stats were?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. So 2023 game logs. All right. So, all right. From week 3, going all the way through week 8, he was averaging a minimum of 125 yards or more. Right? He was going crazy. The final game, he had 130 yards, 8 targets, 8 catches against Washington.
Right.
Then the following game, week 9, we played Dallas, and the Eagles won 28-23. But he only had 9 targets. He had 9 targets, 7 catches, 66 yards. So the targets and the catches were still there, but he had a touchdown as well.
Okay,
they were more
but that's what I wanted to get into. How many targets did he have? What were the average targets during that run and afterwards? So easily
double digits. He was averaging that, but from week 3, where is it? Okay, yeah, from week 3 all the way until week 9, this brother was averaging a minimum of 10 targets easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. Probably 11 targets or 12.
So now you don't cut that more than half.
Now, when you look at the 2025 season, those targets, week 1, 1 target, week 2, 8 targets, week 3, 10 targets, week 4, 9 targets, week 5, 8 targets, week 6, 9 targets, week 7, 6 targets, week 8, 3 targets. Now, we also are on record indicating that some of those targets were dummy targets.
Correct.
Some of those were BS targets.
BS targets, correct.
On the season right now.
It goes to your point, Tone. It goes to your point. There was a time when everybody knew, and we still got it done, and we still got him the ball. If not for nothing else, that brother, A.J. Brown, should have at least 4 to 6 slants a game. 4 to 6 quick slants.
But they jumping on that now.
That's okay. But that's when you hit him with a double move.
Mm. So for you, it's more than just that play. It's about setting up the second, third, fourth one after that.
Because so think about it like this, right? If you go, AJ Brown gonna slant. He gonna get one off. He gonna break a tackle. That's bound to happen because he's that good, right? So to your point, then they jumping on it. Well, okay. Can you hit a double move? Can you hit a rub route? Can you get somebody coming the opposite direction? You make the play off of that, or you make the double move off of that. Use that to your advantage. Anytime you got a defense expecting you to do a thing, that means you got them where you want them. Because now they're looking to try to stop that, and that sets up the double move, that sets up the play action, that sets up a whole lot of other things, but you got to scheme it open. That's why the example in the Super Bowl that we lost, when Andy Reid sends the X or the Z receiver in motion, and then if we're in zone and they shift over, or the DB is banjoed over, and as soon as they start to shift, they snap the ball and the receiver goes the other way. They got us on that twice because it worked twice. The defense was doing what they wanted them to do. The same play. It's not rocket science. All you got to do is scheme it up and run it. Number one, you have to be able to recognize it when it presents itself, and then when it does, execute the play. And again, to your point, there's been plenty of times in the past where we have done that, even when they knew it was coming. So why all of a sudden it stopped now? Why all of a sudden, when you think about it from that standpoint, in that perspective, you can't tell me AJ Brown is not incorrect in his frustration.
Yeah, for sure. And on top of that,
or I said that wrong. You can't tell me he's not correct,
right?
In his frustrations.
And also, Marcus, like let's not. This game is more simple than sometimes we make it, right?
Yes.
It's a lot of drives in a football game. It's a lot of drives, a lot of plays. You mean to tell me you can't scheme up a drive where you just hitting AJ Brown, everything is schemed around getting him open? You mean to tell me you can't do that?
And also play the position. And what I mean by that is, this is where the chess match and the shifts come in. This is where your alignment comes into play. What is the number one thing that offenses do on every play? They either send somebody in motion or shift. What are you trying to figure out? Are they in zone or are they in man? If they're in zone, you got these options. If they're in man, you've got these options.
Yeah, we don't. Also, the only they need to be more creative with their shifts and their motions. Like, I'm tired of only seeing Smitty moving in motion. It's so he's always the motion man.
Well, okay, and you're not wrong, but with that, kind of leads into what I just said. If they think you are predictable, that sets them up to be exposed, or at least exploited. Because again, you're trying to lull them to sleep. Oh, we see this every time. I know what they're doing. Bam. You hit them with something different. And it's like, and that'll be the play. That'll be the splash play. That'll be the deep ball or something like that. So while you're not wrong, it's one of those things where it's great if it works. It sucks if it doesn't.
Right.
But you still got to take the shot. But what I'm saying about the positioning and the motion is, if you put Smitty in motion and make AJ wind up in the slot position, or you move AJ in motion and snap the ball at the slot position, a lot of things changes, because what you want to do is you want to figure out a way to make the linebacker cover the wide receiver.
Yes.
To make the linebacker have to cover Saquon.
And we don't. And there's not enough for that. There was one play that stood out, obviously, where AJ Brown had the touchdown against the Vikings, where he got lined up on a linebacker by accident, not by accident, but he ended up on a linebacker, ended up covering him. Like, you had to find a way to scheme up those situations. That's what some of those best coordinators do. Like, they find ways to they create the mismatch.
Didn't Green Bay do that to us, where Jahmyr Campbell was covering?
Sure did.
And he and I say this all the time, Jahmyr Campbell was running with him. But linebackers can run, they cannot cover. If Jared Campbell knew how to open his hips and locate the ball, that probably would have been a pick. But linebackers don't know how to do that. Advantage to the offense.
Yeah.
And again, why can't we take advantage of that? That's when I look at Kevin Patullo's like, man, this is a copycat league and it's not that difficult. Why aren't we doing it?
Yeah, and that might lead more to Jalen Hurts' not Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown's frustration, the fact that there's so much data of this team knowing how to get him the ball.
Correct.
And this year in particular, it's at an all-time low as far as including him in the offense. And last year we saw a semblance of it, but last year was a little bit different because you had that running game that was so dominant. Like it was just, it wasn't that the offense was inefficient. You know, he just felt like the passing game should be more part of what they do.
Yeah. Hey, remember when you was a kid and you got the cool clothes for school, but it's cold outside, and you try to go outside without a jacket, and your
just
dad
so you.
Why are you trying to go outside with no jacket? Go put that jacket on.
See, and this is where I learned young. You want to get fly for your climate. So
exactly. But my point is,
I know what you mean. Go ahead.
Your father's like, it's too obvious to figure that out. Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Kevin Patullo? Why would you do that? Why would you not get AJ Brown the ball?
Yeah, why would you ever feel comfortable knowing you got him? And then look, it's made. This is where the conversation gets a little interesting, though, because obviously things. I think we've reached the pinnacle of the frustration. I think the frustration can't go any further than this. We reached the pinnacle. Everything came to a head in the AJ Brown press conference, and he laid it out.
Yes,
clearly,
quite clear.
I don't think there's no, they get on him about being, cryptic and whatnot. He wasn't cryptic that day.
No, he wasn't.
He made it abundantly clear what the issue was and how if they don't get it done or if they don't get it fixed, they're going to find out the hard way. Things gotten so bad to the point where now Big Dom is facilitating a conversation between Jeffrey Lurie and AJ Brown, just to touch base with each other.
Right.
And
some people put that in the chat that Lurie said stay off social media. That was reported by Sal Palantonio.
I saw a report as well about that. I didn't substantiate it, but I saw that posted somewhere saying that, he was like, hey man, try to keep it off the socials. Yeah. But AJ Brown knows what this team is capable of, hence why the frustration is so deep. I was talking to LB and Simone, and I was like, because his frustrations are so deep, because he's so passionate about it, I'm not buying the narrative that man wants to be traded. He cares too much about this outcome. He cares too much about being involved in this offense for him to want to trade. He cares too much. He cares too deeply. He dedicates too much. He doesn't sound like a guy that's just washing his hands and waiting to just buy his time for the offseason and ask for a trade.
He's not that dude.
He cares about this.
Yes.
He cares about the guys in that locker room, and he cares about being a contributor. So because of the passion and the fervor in which he spoke, I don't buy that man wants to be traded. I buy that he holds his teammates to a high standard and holds himself to a high standard and holds that coaching staff to a high standard. And I even liked the fact that when he spoke, they tried the media threw him a layup to blame Hurts. They threw him a layup.
Yes, they sure did.
And he was like, I don't think it's that. Jalen got a lot going on in front of him. He got guys pressuring him, and he got reads, and he got to go through. He got way more to worry about than I got to worry about. So I don't think this is a Jalen Hurts problem, and I agree with him. And
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and I paraphrased him. I paraphrased a bit, but he basically was saying, I don't think this is a Jalen Hurts thing because Jalen Hurts got a lot more going on than just my targets.
Right.
And it's not about stats for him. It's about efficiency. But here's where things get interesting. Devontae Smith is on pace for a career year. In yards, that is. Dallas Goedert is having a career year touchdown-wise. Jalen Hurts is on pace for some pretty good numbers. Saquon's obviously his numbers are down, but his usage rate is still high.
Saquon has to transition, and this is not his fault. They need to transition Saquon from touches to, from carries
to touches. Yes, I agree with that. But before we key in on that, AJ Brown's numbers are down while his respective receivers' numbers are up. Goddard and Smitty, that is.
Pause. Having said that, how many teams have we blown out?
One.
Was it a good team?
No.
So if the energy can be we can win without AJ getting the ball, the flip side of that is we have not dominated the team. We dominated one team, and that was the Giants. I'm not counting that. That's not a good team.
No, I agree. But also, that's where the Saquon stuff comes in, right?
Correct. Saquon saved our bacon against the Packers. Saquon had to make a play.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
If they make that tackle, he doesn't do that spin move and make that a 30-yard gain or whatever it was and get the first down. Different conversation. Then
big time players make big time plays in big time moments.
In big time games, absolutely.
And that's what you pay for.
That is what you pay for, but you don't want to have to use it. That's like, that's like
also that game, the nature of it was like the team that made the first play.
That's like pushing the button and calling Godzilla, bro. You can't use it all the time. You can't use it all the time. You got to be able to establish and do what you're supposed to do. If you are, and I'll ask this question to anybody in the chat, and I mean this realistically, be realistic in this situation. If you are on your job and y'all going through a spell and you know you can do something to help the situation, and even though you get through the day, you're looking at that situation like we could have did that hell of a lot easier and probably better if I could have did A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. You were still successful, but you're still going to think like, why did we do it that? He's making it harder. You're making it harder. You're making everybody else's job difficult. And I have a way, and I have a way to make it easier on everybody else. But the boss won't let you do it. That's a problem. Because it'll eventually come back to bite us in the butt at the most inopportune time, i.e. the playoffs.
It's interesting. The two most talented offensive players on that offense is having down years, and the Eagles are winning but not blowing people out. That just speaks volumes about how deep the team is, how good they are, and how no matter what, even with the offense having the struggles, you got to come in and respect them.
Yes,
you got to come in and respect them. You said you said it right. And I kind of twisted it in my own way, but I live in an open carry state, right? And
keep your head on the swivel.
When you know people can potentially have it on them, you handle people different.
You handle people differently. It's not that important.
You approach people differently.
Yeah, you temper that anger a lot more, don't you?
You got a little bit more respect in your tone and how you handle people.
Yeah.
Because you're in an open carry state.
Yeah.
When you think about the Eagles, things ain't necessarily going the way they expected offensively. But they got it on them.
Yeah.
And because they always got it on them, you got to handle them differently.
And even if they don't, and you think they do,
you got to walk light and speak with some respect. So no matter what, the Eagles, because of how deep and talented they are, teams are going to always game plan for AJ Brown. Teams are going to always game plan for Saquon Barkley. It will never stop. It will never fail. But you got to get those guys going.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And we've done it before. And for whatever reason, they're not doing it now. And that's, I don't believe in Dolphins just scored.
They just scored. But look, Marcus, because everything came to a head this week, again, I don't think this situation can get any more potent. Do you see an offensive explosion from AJ Brown tonight. Are you willing to bank on that?
No, I'm not willing to bank on it because I got to look at what I've seen.
The trends, yeah.
I gotta look at what they've been doing. When people show you who they are, believe them. And for whatever reason, they've taken a step back. Did you see that post I put out from Greg Cosell? Greg Cosell said this on he's got that show with Ross Tucker. Now, let me preface this by saying Greg Cosell is somebody I trust implicitly. I don't agree with him all the time, but I trust his judgment because there is nobody, and I mean nobody, who watches more film than Greg Cosell. Not Baldy, not Barrett, nobody. So if Greg Cosell says a thing, I can take that to the bank. Greg Cosell said he didn't understand, and he was referencing one of the plays in the third quarter. He didn't understand what the Eagles offense was doing. And this is what he said. It literally looks like they're trying to minimize Jalen Hurts in this offense. He said that.
Yeah, I heard him. I saw that's okay. Yo. Now it's ringing a bell. I saw that. And that was interesting to me.
That was crazy because I never thought about it like that. But again, I'm like, well, he's right. Why are we handing the ball off and we ain't got no points on the board?
Third and long, third and 12. Oh, we're cowards draw. Third and 13, cowards draw. Like, what's going on? Like, why are we being so passive when we got these big? It gets weird.
It does.
It's becoming a philosophy issue.
Yeah. Then you can't bitch about it because we did get the points. We pulled points out of it. If we don't get it, everybody's bitching about that. Why would you not kick the ball? Why would you not take the points? And come to find out, those 3 points made the difference. So while I completely understand what Greg Cosell was saying, I also look at for the same reason everybody gives crap to Dan Campbell, Nick Sirianni went the opposite way, took the points, and that was the difference in the game. So you got to be cautious at some point in time. And I think in this particular situation, while I don't disagree with Cosell, Nick Sirianni made the right play. He made the right call.
Yeah, I'm looking at the weather for this game, by the way.
It's probably going to be breezy as hell.
They say it's going to be windy as hell.
Windy as I'm mad now because I raked leaves this weekend and now they probably all over back in the yard. It is windy right now.
And it's only going to get worse tonight.
Yeah.
So
that means a run game. Short passes.
This is going to be interesting.
We do not want to kick.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more. And this plays right into Dan Campbell's philosophy. He's going to go for it on every fourth down.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a lot of tush pushing tonight.
And that's the thing we got to remind ourselves of. Like this Lions offense, this Lions team, they will go forward on 4th and 3. If they feel like they got to play to beat you. Even if they're at your 45-yard, if they're at your 50, they're going. Once they get to that 45, 50-yard line, they're going. Everything else they're going for it from that point forward.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Let's transition to the Eagles defense, right? Because I think this team is trending up tremendously. They have a tough matchup today in this Jared Goff led Lions offense, right? Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery at the running back position. They split carries. No Sam Laporta, but Jameson Williams and Myron St. Brown. They're talented. Right, the offensive line is talented. Penny Sewell leads the way. They're good. But when you look at the Eagles' defense and what Jalen Phillips brought to the table and how he's unlocked that defensive line, Nolan Smith coming back with fresh legs, BG, you know, he's knocking the rust off. Jalen Carter and Jalen Carter probably had one of his best games at the line of scrimmage against the Packers.
Man.
He had like 2 or 3 pass deflections. That's the kind of game we're used to seeing him play. Because Jalen Carter, like you spoke, I think you spoke about this. He knows he's going to get double teams. He knows he may not be able to beat those consistently. So he's conditioned himself to be able to affect the game, affect the outcome of the play in a different way, and that is being perceptive to the quarterback's eyes and batting that ball down the line of scrimmage because those are deflating for an offense, believe it or not.
Yeah. And
Like,
what we just saw
Yeah.
with Jalen Phillips, Lord have mercy. That dude, he has become another game plan on that defensive line.
That quickly. That's
quickly.
why I'm so glad his coming out party was the way it was.
Immediate impact.
You saw it. You saw how much. Again, like I said, I felt like that defensive line, at least the edge rusher crew, the edge rusher crew, I felt like it was filled with a bunch of C+ and B level guys. When you throw in Jalen Phillips there, an A level edge rushing talent, when you throw him in there, now it makes that group look more complete. And now you're not, and now you're not putting as much pressure on certain guys to have to win every matchup because you got a guy like Jalen Phillips who's going to take pressure off of guys. Jalen Phillips makes life significantly easier for Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Josh Uche, all those guys. We're going to see those guys benefit. BG, we're going to see those guys benefit tremendously from Jalen Phillips because of just his ability to play for long stretches. When his first game, he was starting. They did not waste no time with that man.
Bro, when you talk about paying immediate dividends, and now, okay, so now here's where you want it to be when you're talking about in the trenches. Can you win whatever position you play, wherever you are on the line of scrimmage? Can you win a one-on-one battle? That's what it comes down to. Can you win a one-on-one battle? Because now we know Jalen Carter, Jalen Phillips, one of those two players is going to get a double team. So somebody's got to eat. And can you win that battle getting through? Because they're going to have to make a decision in two places now. That is the benefit. That's what we had last year with Josh Sweat and BG and Nolan and Jalen and Jordan. All of that, it all came to fruition. And now we have that prospect back. You have to think about Jalen Phillips now.
And Jalen Phillips showed he could stop the run. Like
exactly.
I think his run defense
to get inside.
I felt like his run defense tape was more
very underrated.
I don't want to say more impressive than the pass rush tape, but that jumped off the screen more to me because there's a play where he was tied up with the tackle, and the moment Josh Jacobs thought he was taking that gap, Jalen Phillips got off that block so quick and tackled Josh Jacobs for a loss. If he doesn't get off that block, Josh Jacobs may take it 5, 10, 15, who knows, right?
Yeah.
So Jalen Phillips shown the instincts in run defense. His pressure created sacks and turnovers for that defense. He jumped off the screen.
Yeah, he did.
Sometimes you got to find guys like, where is he?
Who is this?
He jumped off the screen. And that D line looked different with him.
Immediately, you knew he was a difference maker.
So if I'm Jalen Phillips, if I'm Vic Fangio, Jalen Phillips, Penny Sewell, that's your guy all day. Work him.
If I'm Vic Fangio, Jalen Phillips has the green light.
That's what
he has the green. What do you want to do?
I think that's what he said. I think Jalen Phillips was saying that, in the first game, he said Vic just told him, go hunt. That's it. Just hunt. He said because it was in the first game, he's still picking up the defense and whatnot. But he said, yo, just go. Just your job today, hunt. Simple as that. And it looked like that. So this is a very interesting game matchup wise. Just Eagles defense versus Lions offense. That Lions offense, they're athletic, they're explosive, but this Eagles defense, they have the athletes at all three levels to be able to handle a team like this.
Yeah, sometimes this is gonna be another Nakobe Dean game.
Yeah, sometimes you lose to the Lions because you just don't match up well. Period. Sometimes you just don't have the horses.
Right.
The Eagles, on the other hand, this isn't a personnel problem today.
Correct.
On both sides of the ball.
Correct.
Both teams. This isn't going to be now the Lions, they had personnel issues on defense in particular. But this isn't going to be a personnel issue for the Eagles today. It's going to be about execution and how bad you want it. Because the Lions, this is their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is their Super Bowl. And me personally, if I'm the Eagles, I'm approaching this business as usual. Business as usual. Because they did it. And their motivation is going to come from a different place, is what I'm trying to say. Do you think
Mm. I
What's
think
your, go ahead.
I was going to say I think we're at a situation right now where, with everything that's been happening with AJ Brown in that background, to me, if I'm on the outside looking in, and you looking at these national narratives and the sports radio and the national perspective on the Eagles, that seems to be their main focus. That seems to be the main focus. So
The media's focus or the Eagles' focus?
the media's focus.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at it from that standpoint, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of what can the Eagles offense do against Detroit? Regardless of what you think Detroit is, the prerequisites still remain that we still have AJ Brown, we still have Saquon Barkley, we still have Devontae Smith, and we still have Jalen Hurts, and we still have Dallas Goedert.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's got to make a play, and somebody's going to make a play. But is it going to be this reserved, conservative-looking offense that we've seen the last couple of weeks? In my opinion, that's the only thing I guess I can say that the reason why the national media doesn't give the Eagles and the Eagles offense the respect that they deserve. And I won't even, no, let me take that back. That's why they don't get the respect. I'm not even going to say they deserve it, because they haven't played consistent enough ball to warrant it. They've won, but we got issues. So we have to, I don't want to hear the conversation about Jalen Hurts being an elite quarterback or an MVP candidate and all of that type of stuff. You're not going to get that when you throw the ball for less than 150 yards and you win in 10-7, or, just the way we've been doing things. We've been grinding again.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't got to blow teams out, but we have to look like we are competent on offense. And there have been 3 or 4 games where we haven't been, or we haven't even looked that way. And that's what we got to get. We got to get out of that.
I think Jalen Hurts has a phenomenal game tonight. I think in that press conference, when they asked Jalen Hurts about the AJ Brown stuff, he said, the more energy we put into that, is less energy we get to put into this Lions game.
Right.
And the reality is, this is a Lions, and I'm paraphrasing, but he spoke on the Lions, and he mentioned how he's fully aware that this is a Lions team that believes that they're better.
Yep.
They should have had what you have, and they want their crack at him. Those are his words.
Right.
They want their crack at him. He's fully aware that it's the Lions team that believes that they are the true rivals to the Eagles. They think they're better than the Eagles. He's fully aware. Jalen Hurts doesn't speak. Jalen Hurts is the kind of guy that you got to really make sure you catch the tea leaf when he drops it, because he's going to give you a lot of philosophical fluff. Not saying what he's saying doesn't matter, because it matters to him, but he's going to answer you a certain way. He's going to be thoughtful and prophetic and all those things, right? Very rarely does he get into assumptions and what other teams are feeling, or how it's very rare he speaks about the team and himself in a way as it pertains to another team and how they view the Eagles and vice versa. He doesn't really get too much into the personal things. That sounded like a guy who understands how personal this game is, at least from the Lions side of it.
He sounds like a guy that was raised by a coach. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't worry about the nonsense. Control what you can control. I had a purpose before you had an opinion. Mm-hmm. All of that type of stuff. That is somebody that has been raised in an environment where we focus on the things that matter. What they said on the radio is not going to help us on the field. Mm-hmm. What somebody's opinion is, or where I rank, is not going to help us on the field. So I think, to your point, he is hyper aware of all of the stuff that doesn't matter. And in this climate, in this social media climate, That's what pisses people off the most, because everybody's looking for an angle. Everybody's looking for a quote. Everybody wants to get something so they can run with it, be it right or wrong. And he doesn't give them that. That's why he comes across as boring, stoic, and all of them other adjectives that everybody uses. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. You want somebody who's worried about winning. The problem is now it doesn't look the way we want it to look, and everybody's got a problem with it. Even from the people that I'm tired of AJ Brown's. And what are you tired of? What exactly? When exactly did tweeting something very mundane on social media became diva behavior? When did that happen? When did that change happen? But everybody's looking for it because everybody wants the sound bite. They want the click. They want the R farm. They want all of that type of stuff. And those are the things that don't matter.
Mm.
And Jalen Hurts has been masterful at avoiding all of that stuff, to the point where people don't want to talk to him. People don't want to, because they know they're not going to get nothing. So I'm good with that. Literally, that's what keep the main thing. Literally, that's what that means. Don't concentrate on the nonsense. The problem is the nonsense is what sells now. Doesn't win games, but it sells.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good about this game tonight. I'm feeling pretty good. I slept on it, got some rest, and I'm looking at this Eagles team, and I feel like they're highly motivated. I feel like they're pissed off because they haven't been their best, and I feel like this every week they're really trying to just get to that level, get to that point, man. And you got people in the building who are motivated to do so. You got professionals. You got guys who are champions. You got guys who have won all their lives. You got guys who've been here throughout the collapse. These guys know the potholes to avoid, so to speak, the players that is. This has to be the game tonight, because I'm of the belief you win this game, you get past this game with a win. I think, and I said this on the link up with Laura Brunson and Simone Stanley. Make sure you guys go check that out if you can. I made the bold claim: if the Eagles win this game tonight, I don't think they lose another game.
I agree with that, but people are still going to be. To me, it's how you win it.
Of course,
because last week,
I just think this game. I just think the stakes of this game are higher than the ones that come after.
I agree 100%.
Because if you beat the Lions, that means you own the tiebreaker for the playoffs. That is, you own the tiebreaker over the Lions, you own the tiebreaker over Packers, you own the tiebreaker over Rams, you own it over the Bucks, right? And the Vikings are still trying to creep into the playoffs. You beat them. Yep. I know people want to minimize that win, but you beat them. A team that's talented, but they've been having some injuries at quarterback.
Yeah.
So you beat the Vikings, you beat the Bucks, you beat the Rams, you beat Green Bay. I'll throw the Chiefs in there, even though it doesn't really matter to your seeding per se, but you beat the Chiefs because they matter. And you beat Green Bay, and you got Detroit left. You're slowly collecting the Infinity Stones to to your first round bye gauntlet. And they have a chance to have survived one of the toughest schedules that we've seen the Eagles play. Every team they play, for the most part, has been a playoff team from the previous season, right? So you get this win, and frankly, I mean, I do want them to look competent. I want the offense to look competent, but I don't really care what the score says. I want the offense to look competent. I just want everybody to look competent because the other team got to play too. They get paid too. They're going to make plays.
Yeah.
That's another thing we got to recognize also. Like, they're going to make plays. But can you make more plays than them? Can you stop them on that big drive or in that gotta have it moment?
Well, flip it. The team that makes the least amount of mistakes.
Yes, because that's what decided the Green Bay game.
Exactly.
The Green Bay game, it came down to who made that play, who made the extra play, and who didn't make the extra mistake.
Who did the job? Who did their job? if that DB makes that tackle against Saquon, he did his job. It wasn't a crazy play. He simply made a tackle. But Saquon, being an all-star player, made the big-time play.
Yeah. Perfect example. Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson had a big tackle in that game.
That's the great equalizer.
Yeah. And also, before we, start to transition to like our picks and stuff, actually, before we transition to our predictions and whatnot, and let me and I say this because I think it's important that I remind Eagles fans the team that they support and who they've been and who they are. When you think about everything the Eagles have been through, good, bad, and different, when you think about the way the season has transpired and how they won games, who they've beaten, where they've beaten them, is there any team in football that's more battle-tested than the Eagles? One. And for two, is there any team that you trust more in a one-possession game than the Eagles in football right now?
That's a good one.
The same things we call a problem, or the results from what we call the results from a problem, can also be the results of a solution. So what I'm trying to say is, like,
yeah,
this Eagles team, what we have been giving them grief for, some teams couldn't even play in that pool.
Teams wish they had our problem.
There's a lot of teams who can blow you out.
Yeah.
But when that game gets a little tight, when things aren't working as perfectly, when things get a little, Mark, you've been in them games before where it's like, all right,
somebody got to make a play.
We up 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's third and 11. We have to hit the yard line. What we're going to do? It's 2 minutes left. They got 3 timeouts. We can't get them this ball back. Like,
Washington just fumbled.
The Eagles are a team that I trust in those moments.
I got you.
So if we're in a situation in this game where the Eagles are down 3 or up 3, final 2 minutes, and I trust this team to do the job. I trust them because they've done it. There's more data to support my argument than the other way. But again, the same data I'm using, people can use it and say, well, they're not playing up to snuff. Fair. That's what the tape is telling you. But the results is also telling you, hey, this team knows how to navigate these landmines. A lot of teams don't know how to win close games.
If they got to grind it out, they can grind it out.
Yeah. Who's shown you more ways to win a football game this season?
Wanted to, you know what? You asked
Marcus,
that.
I'm asking you, Marcus, real quick. Seriously, I'm asking you straight up. Who's shown you a full swatch of ways to win a football game this season than the Eagles?
I had to think about that because the first team that came to my mind was the Rams, and I was like, nope. Either the Rams or the Bills, and I'm like, nope. They done had their issues. They done got just like everybody else. So maybe the Seahawks, I guess. I don't know. That's a good question, man. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think
I can't even throw the Seahawks in there because the schedule, who they've played, their first half of the schedule has been very cupcake. Now it's going to pick up in the second half. We're going to find out how good they really are.
Facts.
But the Eagles,
I think you're right. You're right. With our injuries and everything, yeah. The Eagles we done been in the street fight. We done been in the street fight.
They got the schedule to back up the claims.
Yep.
They got the strength of they got the strength of victories and the strength of schedules to back up the claims. Yep. They have the tape and the nuances and the nip tuck moments, and they have it all on the resume.
Yeah,
they've shown you such a full variety of ways to win football games that no matter how a game is going, I know this Eagles team has seen it before, they've been there before, and they know what to do.
And they know what not to do.
And they know what not to do. And I think it all comes from that collapse in 2023, and obviously what happened over the other seasons as well that surrounds that season. Yeah. This team has experienced a lot in these past 4 years. And I think they're the most battle-tested, most hardened, most prepared team in football because they've seen it all, they've experienced it all. They've had every narrative pinned on them over the past 4 seasons. Is there
That's
any
what
narrative the Eagles haven't faced?
No.
Quarterback issues, quarterback coach issues, quarterback wide receiver issues, offensive line injuries. Like they got the injury. They've overcome the injuries. They've overcome the schedule. They've overcome the dysfunction between so-called dysfunction between receiver and offensive identity. And Saquon isn't even gone off. Can you imagine if Saquon has a tale of 2 seasons?
Right.
And what they've been doing already?
That would be phenomenal.
And this defense is trending up. I think this defense got potential to be better than the last year's. Now, maybe the statistics won't say that
with Jalen Phillips,
but yeah, eyes will tell you that.
Yeah,
I think statistically they were just so different last year, statistically. But your eyes will tell you, this team has a higher ceiling. The defense, that is. So the defense is figured out, and they're trending up. I'll much rather be trying to work out the kinks of my offense.
Here's an interesting question. Would you rather have Jalen Phillips or Josh Sweat?
Josh Sweat having a year right now.
Yes, he is. He's on the heater.
But I'm going to say Jalen Phillips right now.
Isn't Jalen Phillips younger?
And that is the reason. I think he's Jalen Phillips is 2 years younger, 2 full years younger than Josh Sweat. Also, Jalen Phillips, from a production standpoint, he's been. Actually, let me double check that. Let me make sure I'm not talking on my ass now, because I know Joshua's having an amazing season right now. This is the best season he's had in his career. Just from a pure sack production standpoint, like the pace he's on. He has 8 sacks on the year right now. He's on pace for a career year. His career high is 11 sacks. All right, so Joshua's been in the league. Wow. Okay, so peep this. Joshua's been in the league 3 years longer than Jalen Phillips. 3 years.
Wow.
Josh Sweat's career started to take off in 2020, where he had 6 sacks. In 2021, he had 7.5. 2022 had 11. 2023 he had 6.5. 2024 he had 8. In 2025 he had 8. Josh Sweat can get to the quarterback. He's shown he can do that, right? Jalen Phillips shown that his career as well. Jalen Phillips doesn't have a double-digit sack season on the resume yet, but his rookie year, 8.5 sacks. Second year, 7 sacks. His third year, 6.5. I think he had the injuries in 2024. And then 2025, he gets traded to us. He has 3 sacks on the season right now. But I would probably have to say Jalen Phillips because he's younger. I think both of them are playing well though.
So Josh Sweat is having a career year. We agree on that, right?
Yeah, he is. So far.
Who's he play for?
Arizona.
They going to the playoffs?
Probably not.
Yeah. He going to the Super Bowl?
Probably not.
He's got a shot to go to the Super Bowl?
No.
No.
He doesn't have a snowball's snowball's chance in hell to make it to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And I mean under any circumstance with that team.
So is that considered to be a wasted effort? You see what I'm saying?
I mean, he got paid already. He paid already. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but again, why do you play the game?
You play the game to win.
Are you hungry or do you just want something to eat?
I'm starving.
So I kind of flip that perspective looking at the offense. And you kind of see Jalen's perspective. Because they told me I couldn't do all of these things, and I still did them when we needed them done, and we still got the ultimate prize because that's what it's all about.
Correct.
And as long as, and even I want to see more consistency and more production from our offense, at the end of the day, when it comes to the most important factor, that W in that column, we've been better than most. Now, eventually that may come to an end. I don't know, because at any given time, we still got so much football left. We got a whole nother half a season of football left. So there is plenty of time where that proverbial switch can get flipped and the offense just, for whatever reason, just goes ham on them. But I think to the point that you made earlier, we are still the team to beat, and teams still have to worry about us. You don't want to have to come down to 95 and come through Philly if you're trying to get to the playoffs. Not a place you want to go to. But everybody's going to have to do it. And now we are trying to set ourselves up so we can get that first week bye. That is a reasonable expectation. That is not out of the realm of possibility. Why shouldn't we expect to win the NFC East for the second year in a row for the first time in how many years? We've got the team to do it. So everything is in our corner. All the pressure is on us because of that. If it falls apart, we let it. So I think, I still think we got a lot of time to get it together. And we can only get better.
Yeah,
we can only get better.
Yeah, there's a few things that just haven't quite fully been unlocked that just makes his team that much more scary. Like, the prospects of his team. Jalen Phillips, him being here, he's just scratching the surface of what he like. This defense is trending up. They're going to get better.
They're going to get better.
Jalen Phillips is going to be making more of an impact, right?
Yeah.
Again, so credit to him, and again, and also credit to Josh Sweat, man. Just living up.
I like Josh Sweat, man, because he came back.
I love Josh Sweat.
He could have got the bag last year, and he didn't.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing bad to say about Josh Sweat. I think Josh Sweat's phenomenal talent.
I hope when his last year is up, he comes back so he can retire in green.
Yeah, I would only, like I said, I only pick Jalen Phillips because he's younger.
Yes,
right? You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? That's literally it.
I agree
because I think they're both formidable pass rushers.
Yep.
Regardless, though, so I think we pretty much laid out everything when it comes to this team, offensively and defensively. We talked about the injury reports. We talked about the weather. It's going to be really windy tonight.
Very windy.
The Lions are going to be without some key players. Lions are going to be without. Make sure I got this right. They're going to be without a lot of their secondary. No DJ Reed because of a hamstring. No Terran Arnold, concussion. Marcus Davenport on the edge is not playing. That's a big loss. Kirby Joseph, their safety, out with a knee. No Sam Laporta at tight end. No Malcolm Rodriguez at linebacker. They're missing some pretty key players.
Key components, yeah.
Yeah, edge rusher Joshua Pascal not playing. So they're missing two edges. They're missing three DBs, and they're all starters. The DBs, that is. It's
if that's the case, I have no reason to doubt it.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we dominate this game?
Yeah, and the Eagles are more healthy than the Lions. So
yes,
it's gonna be one of situations where you gotta come out with your hair on fire. If I'm the Eagles, I want to score first. I want to punch them. Yes. I want to punch them in the mouth.
You always want to score first.
I want to score first and put that pressure on them. Simple as that. So we pretty much ironed it all out. Just some context when it comes to Detroit. As of right now, Detroit's offense, they rank second in points, sixth in yards, third in points per play, fourth in yards per play. They're 21st in the league in third down conversions, though, which is interesting. They're having a down year on third down like the Eagles are.
Right.
They're 21st in the league in third down conversions. They are 7th in the league in fourth down conversions, and they're 4th in the league in red zone efficiency. The Eagles, I think the Eagles are 2nd or 1st in the league in red zone efficiency. So both teams, when they get in the red zone, they can score.
Right.
So the goal is obviously to keep both of these teams out of the red zone. Defensively, Detroit, they're 13th in points allowed per game. They're 7th in yards allowed per game. They're 15th in points per play allowed. 7th in opponent yards per play allowed. They're 6th in opponent third down conversion rate. And they're 14th in opponent fourth down conversion rate. They have the 25th ranked red zone defense, which is not good. So they're a defense that can give up the points in the red zone.
They get warts.
Yeah, in comparison with the Eagles are a team that's very stingy in the red zone. So the Eagles are the number one red zone offense and the number 4 red zone defense, whereas the Detroit has the number 4 red zone offense and the number 25th red zone defense. So that's something to watch as well in this game. Detroit, they are 9th in yards per rush. They're 5th in rush attempts per game. They're 6th in rushing yards per game. They're 3rd in rushing touchdowns per game. Run defense has been pretty decent as well. They're ranked 10th in opponent yards per rush. They're ranked 6th in opponent rush attempts per game. They're ranked 8th in opponent rushing yards per game. They've been a pretty good run defense this year. Their passing defense, though, has left a little bit to be desired.
Wow.
So, and they're dealing with injuries. So, this is going to be a very interesting game to watch, you guys. I'm really excited about it. Let's get to our predictions. Let's get to some bold predictions. Let's start with the Eagles offense. Do you have any bold predictions, Marcus, for the Eagles offense?
For the Eagles offense,
Yes.
It's a shame that this should be bold, but I'm going to say A.J. Brown gets 8 targets at least. I want to see A.J. Brown just go. Let me just say it like that. I want to see A.J. Brown go off today.
I hope so,
but they got to give him the ball. And it sucks that we are even having this conversation.
Wait, did Miami get stopped at the 1-yard line?
Yes, they did. Didn't you hear me go, wow? That's what I was looking at. Miami tried to run the ball. 1:40 left. They could have took the points
and got the lead.
They couldn't get a yard. They were on the 1.5-yard line, 4th and goal, and they went for it. So now the defense has got to stop Washington. Now Washington hasn't been great.
Yeah, but Mariota disconnected on a 28-yard pass.
Oh Lord. You're a little bit ahead of me. They just get the ball to Debo. Why would they leave the middle of the field? Wow. Washington's going to win on a field goal. Watch.
Of course.
Watch. Miami's got to. Wow.
Yeah, I got Commanders winning this game anyway. So yeah, your bold prediction, you said A.J. Brown, minimum 8 targets.
I switched that. I just want to see A.J. Brown. I want A.J. Brown player of the game. Let me say it like that.
A.J. Brown player of the game?
Player of the game.
Remember last time they played Detroit, when his first game, he went crazy. Yo, they made it a point to get him involved. So much that somebody didn't have a single catch. But yeah, you want AJ to go off in this game. I think my bold prediction is kind of similar to yours. I think AJ Brown has a monster game today. I think AJ Brown goes for 150. That's a bold prediction for me.
Yeah.
AJ Brown goes for 150 in the air. You got any other bold predictions for the offense?
For the offense? No.
Okay. I'll give you one more.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
I'll give you one more. Since both of ours are AJ Brown centric. I'll say, this is a bold prediction. The Eagles' offensive line doesn't give up a single sack.
Like that?
It's bold, because Aiden Hutchinson is a talent. Granted, no Aleem McNeil, right? No Davenport. Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, no Davenport. I'm sorry. I didn't mean Aleem McNeil. No Davenport. So yeah, Jalen Hurts, this Eagles offensive line leads the game, not giving up a single sack. AJ Brown goes off for 150. All right. Any bold predictions for the defense?
I think defense holds Jahmyr Gibbs to under 50 yards rushing. Our defense has had good success against elite level running backs. Well, Miami just gave up the ghost right there. They just gave it up. They just crossed the 50, and I believe they are in field goal range now.
If I'm the Eagles, I'm watching that Minnesota tape. I want to know what Minnesota did to shut down Gibbs and Montgomery. Gibbs and Montgomery were non-factors in that Minnesota game.
And Minnesota went for 114 on them on the ground. And that's not including scrambles. That's not including reverses. That was all running back yardage, 114. I looked that up because I watched some
Yeah,
tape
you're right.
yesterday.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it here. Yep, you're right.
I watched some tape yesterday. So we have some opportunities on that. The Vikings were moving that line of scrimmage. So that goes back to having our guys in the middle back, having Cam Jurgens, having Landon Dickerson healed up and back at their natural position. Now, not Landon Dickerson, but Cam Jurgens is still a little bit of a question mark because his issue was a knee. So
he's had a lot. He's had a lot of time. He didn't play the Giants game. He had the bye week. He didn't play the Green Bay game.
Yep.
He's had time, bro.
He's had a lot of time off, but that knee has got to be able to hold up. Can he move people on the line of scrimmage? That's what I want to see.
Yeah. All right. So your bold prediction for the defense. What was it again? You said
Jahmyr Gibbs under 50.
Jahmyr Gibbs under 50 yards. All right. I like that. That's bold. Because it's been done.
Yeah.
If I'm the Eagles, I'm studying that Vikings tape religiously. If I give you one, mine will be Eagles defense. I'll say Jalen Phillips has a strip sack on
I like it.
Jared Goff. Jalen Phillips strip sack on Jared Goff. And I'm going for a Reed Blankenship interception today.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw that in there. Jalen Phillips strip sack and a Reed Blankenship INT tonight.
I think Washington just lost another receiver.
Let's do that. Y'all. All right, score prediction. Marcus, give it to me.
Golly, man. All right. I want to say 24-17 Eagles.
24-17 Eagles.
We got to get above 20 points.
I think the Eagles win. I think Eagles win 24-23.
Washington missed the field goal.
You're lying.
They missed the field goal.
Yo, it must be terrible watching two bad football teams play football, bro.
They missed the field goal. Matter of fact, I don't know if you paid attention. Miami's defense forced a fumble that gave the Dolphins the ball back. The Dolphins get all the way down to the goal line, can't score. Washington puts a masterful drive together. They get to the 30 going in, and they miss the field goal.
30?
Or no, 45. I'm sorry, 45.
So what was it? A 50-yard field goal? 50,
wow. And Jalen Waddle, wide open, hits him in the hands, and he bobbles the ball and drops it.
I can't. Eagles fans
wish they had our problems.
You nailed it. You nailed it. All right. So your score prediction, you said 24-17?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going 24-23 Birds. 24-23.
Let's go through these picks.
All right. So as of right now, I mean, I think you and I both had the Pats beating the Jets. I don't think that was a question.
Yeah.
Now, Commanders at Dolphins. I don't think either team wants to win this game. It's going into overtime.
I picked the Dolphins.
I picked the Commanders.
I picked the Dolphins, and the Dolphins just got to the 36. It looks like
it's overtime now, man.
Time ran out.
Yeah. Bad football teams.
They have no timeouts left. They just got the ball inside the 30 in field goal range. They didn't have no time left.
Bad football teams, man.
All right, I picked the Dolphins. So
yeah, I got the Commanders in this game still.
Yeah.
Panthers at Falcons. I got the
Falcons.
Panthers winning this game.
I got the Falcons win.
The Falcons they've been too hot and cold, man.
Yeah. Are they at home?
Yeah, they are. Falcons are home.
I'm going to say that the Falcons coaching staff does not want to get embarrassed, especially after what's his name? What's the quarterback? Especially after what his comments were.
Who you talking about? Penix?
Penix, yeah.
What did he say?
He said that he basically said that he doesn't get he doesn't have anybody to help him going through the offense. Like, I took it as he doesn't have anybody to help, decipher some things going on. That basically it was an indictment of the coaching staff, of the offensive coaching staff. So I was like, oof, that was unnecessary and unexpected, but he said it.
That's interesting. But I got the Panthers winning this game, man.
Okay.
Bucks at Bills. I got the Bills winning this one.
I got the Buccaneers. I want to see if Baker Mayfield can get it done in Buffalo.
That's the operative words, in Buffalo. In Buffalo. In November.
But didn't they lose last week?
Oh,
so
yeah,
they can get got.
They can. Who they lose to, though? What was it, Dolphins? They lost to the Dolphins, but it wasn't at home, was it?
I don't even remember.
Let me see. They lost to the Dolphins on the road. Yeah, they lost on the road. They beat the Chiefs at home.
They still lost to the Dolphins.
No. I know. But what I'm trying to say is, like, Buccaneers got to travel to Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's not an easy place to win. Now, they did lose at home to the Falcons, though. I'm sorry. They lost at home to the Patriots. That's what it was. They lost at home to the Patriots this season. That's the only team they lost to at home, the Patriots. And the Patriots on a heater right now. So we'll see. And I told you this a while back. I said the Patriots got the chance to go on like an 8 or 10 game win streak. You laughed at me.
Yeah.
You called me crazy. Anyway. I got the Bills, though. I got the Bills in this game, man.
Okay.
Me and you on the opposite side for a lot of these so far.
Yeah.
Texans at Titans. I got the Texans winning.
I have Texans as well.
Yeah, I got the Texans winning this game. Even though Titans are at home, I just feel like Titans just got too many warts, man.
They do. They're not a good team.
Yeah. Bears at Vikings. I'm taking the Bears, even though I know that's not a gimme.
I'm taking the Vikings.
You know what's so crazy? Dude. Like, that's one game I've been looking at, and I'm like, that's not as cut and dry as I initially thought it was.
Vikings are doing Viking things again. Vikings are a pretty decent team, but they just can't seem to put it together. But I don't think the Bears are good. Aren't they in Minnesota?
I may switch my pick now.
I'm going with the Vikings, bro.
I think I'm going to switch my pick. Now that I think about it. The Vikings are getting healthier. I think, all right, I'm going with the Vikings in that game. So you changed my mind. I'm going with the Vikings in that game. I think the Bears, to your point, though, now that I really think about it, I think the Bears are due for a loss. They're due. Let me see. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They beat the Bengals and they beat the Giants. They lost to the Ravens last. They beat Saints, Commanders, Raiders. So they've been losing to competent teams. They lost to the Vikings earlier in the year, 27-24, and they lost to the Lions, 52-21. They got a lot of division games coming up too. Yeah, I'm rolling with the Vikings in this game. I'm rolling with the Vikings. Yeah. All right. Next up. Let's see here. Next up. We have Packers at Giants. I'm going for the upset here. I think the Giants win.
Nah.
I'm going for the upset. I think Jameis. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm fully aware that I am zigging when everybody else is zagging. I am fully aware.
Packers are not going to lose to the Giants.
Let alone 3 times in a row, right?
They are not going to lose to the Giants.
If you
Michael Parsons has 2 sacks today.
If you showed me you could lose to the Browns and you can lose to the Panthers, you liable to lose to anybody. Now, granted,
shit.
I think.
Wow. Miami just picked off Washington.
Oh.
So all they got to do is kick a field goal for the win.
Oh my God, fuck.
That's all they got to do.
Well, I'm already in the hole. Yeah, and I don't know. You know, it's always that one game where Jameis gives you where you're just like, yo, Jameis, can he start?
Jameis Winston cannot move. No, they are not. Packers are not losing.
I'm going for the Gus though.
Jordan Love is not going to lose to Jameis Winston.
Jordan Love lost to Bryce Young, lost to Joe Flacco, lost. Like, come on. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You got to come through with sooner or later, though.
You know,
I'm picking the back.
And they're in New York. You know, like this Giants team. Now, granted, no Jackson Dart, but this Giants team, they beat the Chargers before. They beat the Eagles. They're that Giants team is sneaky.
Yeah,
they're sneaky. This is their first game without Brian Daboll. I think they're highly motivated. We'll see, but I got the. It's gonna be funny to watch though. But I'm rolling with the Giants, man. That's my underdog pick of the week, by the way.
Okay.
Bengals at Steelers. I know the Bengals beat them last time. I think the Steelers get them this time.
I'm going with my Bengals.
As you should, as you would. All right, let's try to hurry up. We got 20 minutes before kickoff. Chargers at Jags. I got the Chargers in this game.
I do as well.
Yeah, even though the Jags are at home and the Jags can use a win right now. They started off pretty hot, but they haven't been doing too well the past few weeks. The Jags in their last 4 games, they're 1-4. And they lost to teams that were actually competent. They lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Rams. They did beat the Chiefs, but they beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are still figuring things out. They beat the 49ers. They beat the Panthers and the Texans already, and they lost to the Texans 36-29. So this Jags team is very Jekyll and Hyde. They either can play up or they can play down.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to roll with the Chargers in this game. I'm going to roll with the better quarterback.
Absolutely.
I'm going to roll with the more experienced head coach. And also, you know, the Jags, they did trade for their receiver. Who is it? The Jags traded for their receiver. What's his name? Jacoby Myers. That's who it is. Jacoby Myers. He's good. Travis Hunter is on IR. He's done for the year. But yeah. Brian Robinson Jr. or Brian Thompson Jr. Jacoby Myers. They got some talent there, right? They got Travis Etienne. They got some talent, but I'm still rolling with the Chargers in this game, man. All right, next up, let's see what we got. Seahawks at Rams. This is a tough pick, but I'm going with the more experienced head coach and quarterback in this game. I'm going Rams. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford in this game. Matthew Stafford having a remarkable year. I think this is the beginning of the humbling for the Seahawks.
I agree. I'm going with the Rams too.
Because when you look at that Seahawks schedule, they're 7-2, right? They had a bunch of cupcakes the first half of the season. Now their schedule picks up. They got Rams, Titans, Vikings, Falcons, Colts, Rams, Panthers, Niners, right? So obviously those games, the tough games are divisional. Niners, Rams, and they got Rams again.
Miami's inside the 10.
They're liable. Wow. They're liable to lose to they can lose to the Rams twice. They can. And the final game of the year, who knows? It may matter for them. So they could lose to the Steelers too. I'm sorry, the Niners. And they got the Colts. This second half of the season it's going to tell us a lot about the Seahawks and the Colts. But in the second half of the season, you got Rams, Vikings, Falcons, Colts, Rams, and Niners sprinkled in there. I'm not looking at the Panthers or the Titans games as real games for them. But yeah, man, Seahawks, man, we're going to find out. Let's keep it going. Next up, Niners at Cardinals. I got the Niners in that game.
I got the Niners. Miami just won.
Yeah.
They got the ball down to the 11. They didn't even run the ball. They just kicked it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. See, I'm with you. Niners and Cardinals win. Niners beat Cardinals. Yeah. Ravens at Browns. I got the Ravens in this game.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they in trouble.
Yeah, I got the Ravens.
Lamar versus Miles. That's a good one.
That's funny. If Miles Garrett wrecks his game, that can make it more interesting. But other than that, I think Ravens win regardless. Chiefs at Broncos. It's another tough matchup. Another big divisional game this week. I got the Chiefs in this game.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are trending up. They're trending up.
If the Broncos beat the Chiefs, then that lets me know that the Broncos are for real. As much as I hate to say that, because I don't like Sean Payton. But if they beat the Chiefs,
they still got to play them twice. They play them this week, and they got to play them in what is that, week 17?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But if they beat them today,
that's gonna be interesting.
That is a big feather in the cap of Bo Nix if he can make that happen.
Yeah, and you're home, so yeah, I feel you on that. All right, let's see here. We got Lions at Eagles. Me and you already got the Eagles winning that game. Then you got Cowboys at Raiders. I got the Cowboys winning that game.
Yep.
All right, and bye week this week. You got Colts on the bye week and the Saints on the bye week. All right, real quick before we go, what was your prediction record from last week? I went 10-4 last week.
Last week, I think I was 10-4, but I'm trying to figure out.
I went 10-4 2 weeks in a row.
Did I gotta go back and find out if I picked the Jets or the Browns. I don't remember what my pick was. That's the only one that I don't know about. My week 9 was 10-4. My week 10, if I did pick the Jets, then I'm 10-4 again. So we haven't gained or lost any ground on each other.
Yeah, my overall record is 88-61.
I don't even know what mine is. I didn't add them up. I think I still got you by like 2 games, maybe.
Yeah.
It's close.
I wouldn't be surprised. Probably 2 games. So
it's close.
Yeah. But that's the show, y'all. That is the show. We appreciate you for locking in. And make sure you guys smash that like button. I know you guys like to get comfortable and watch the content, of course, but that like button is super important, you guys. So make sure you guys hit it, utilize it. Also hit that hype button as well. As Blunt said, y'all should have picked an underdog. Y'all picks are the same. No, it's not. Like the first half, me and him was disagreeing the whole time. The first half, I picked the Giants to win. I picked the Panthers to win when he picked the Falcons. I picked the Commanders when he picked the Dolphins.
Yeah, and see, that's a betting thing. I don't care about all of that.
I did switch my Bears pick though to the Vikings. I picked the Giants to beat the Packers. I picked the Steelers to beat the Bengals. He picked the Bengals. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. So yeah, we were pretty much disagreeing the first half, and then we kind of fell in lockstep in the second half.
Did you change the Falcons pick or
no? I still got Panthers winning that game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm with you now with the Vikings though. I got the Vikings beating the Bears. I got Giants beating the Packers. You don't. Yep. That's the biggest underdog pick of the week. Other than that though, you guys, phenomenal show as always.
Yes,
I got your Eagles winning 24-23. Marcus has them winning 24-17.
Let's say 24-17.
24-17. Bold predictions. Me and Marcus got AJ Brown going off today. He has AJ Brown having a minimum of 8 targets. I got AJ Brown going off 150 plus yards. Also, I have Jalen Hurts having a phenomenal game as well. On defensively, I got Jalen Phillips getting a strip sack. I got Reed Blankenship having an interception. And I think on defense, you have what?
Defense, I had what?
Holding Jahmyr Gibbs under 50 yards.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun to watch. Other than that, you guys, hell of a show. Subscribe to Pro Fan Talk. Subscribe to Talkative Sports. Continue to lock in on the content. There's plenty of it in abundance, you guys. We got about 13 minutes to kick off, and it's straight like that. He's Marcus Thomas.
Who's the first game?
The first games, the 1 o'clock slate is
not counting what just happened in Madrid.
Right. The 1 o'clock slate is Carolina at Atlanta, Tampa at Buffalo, Houston at Tennessee, Green Bay in New York, Chicago and Minnesota, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, Chargers at Jacksonville, Seattle at Los Angeles, San Fran at Arizona. Oh no, I'm sorry, I lied. The last 1 o'clock slate is Chargers at Jags, and then the 4 o'clock slate is Seattle at Los Angeles, San Fran at Arizona, Baltimore at Cleveland, Kansas City at Denver, and Detroit and Philly is the nighttime game.
All right, we got a day.
Yep, man. We got a date. He's Marcus Thomas, y'all. I'm your guy, Tone. This show's the second from Talkative Sports. This has been the Bald Eagles podcast. And it's flag was fly as always, y'all.
Go Birds.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight. Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Moore Street lights. Dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Fly guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by.